Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Math 20-3, Chapter 6, Section 4, Credit, Part 2. Now, example question 2. Arlene is buying a new bike. She has 3 payment options. Which would you recommend and why? Well, the first option is pay cash. The bicycle costs $895.99 plus 12% tax. Obviously not in Alberta, but that's life. Now, percentage means divide by 100, so this is 0.12. So the tax is 0.12 times the cost, $895.99. Now, I did that, and Mr. Calculator spit out $107. I want to stress that's the tax. Cost was $895.99. So the total I got $1,003.51 if you pay cash. And no, I'm not going to start ranking about taxes because that's perfectly for living in a civilized society. Okay. So, pay cash. If you have it, it's great. Second option, use the store's payment plan for 6 monthly payments of $190, including tax. So in this instance, 6 payments times $190. That works out to be $1,140. Okay. Now I want you to note that if you pay cash, it's $1,003.51. So that's $136.49 extra. Okay. Now, why would you pay extra? Well, you don't want to. But here, no, it's $190 a month. Now, for some people, $190 is not a lot of money. For some people, it is. But most of you guys can scrounge up $190 a month without worrying too much about it. How many of you guys can do option 1? You have $1,000 or $1,003 in your savings account that you can spend knowing that you don't have any other bills coming in. So yeah. Anyway, so maybe monthly payments might be easier. Now, option 3, pay using a cash advance on a credit card. She will be charged interest at an annual rate of 19.5%, and she expects it will take her 15 days to pay a credit card balance. Now, 1,000, sorry, divided by 100, forgive me, not 1,000. Getting old, that is 0.195. Now, 15 days out of being months, how many days in a year? 365. Okay, so that's time. Now, to charge interest, I equals PRT. Now, the principal is $1,003.51 times 0.195 times 15 over 365 is the time. The math isn't bad, but you got to be careful here. So, Mr. Calculator, let's work on this. Wakey, wakey. All right. So 1003.51 times the rate, 0.195 times 15 divided by 365, $8.04. The interest is $8.04. Okay. Now, question is, that's the interest. Don't forget your balance. Also, your cost. 1003.51. So that's interest. I think that's $1,011.55 if she does the cash advance. Now, here, which is cheapest? Remember the question was, two-part. Which would you recommend and why? Well, option one, cheapest. How are you fudging at me? What is your issue? Stop that. People are watching. If you have $1,003 to spend, some people don't. I don't. Option two, you end up spending $1,400 or $1,140. Why would you choose this? Because you only need $190 a month. As I said, if you don't have $1,003 to spend, there's spare money because you guys are getting into the workforce and you're starting to realize, oh dear, you got to pay for gas and car insurance, and some of you guys are living on your own, you got to pay rent and food and all that. It's expensive. Also, why don't you use this cash advance? Well, notice this is a little bit more expensive than paying cash because of the interest charge. But when would you use this? When you know you're getting paid. When you know you're getting paid and you can't afford it. Like I said, with this paycheck, you know you have an extra $1,000. Yes, this gets expensive quick. But if you know you got a paycheck coming and your car's working fine and you've got some money saved up, when you get this paycheck, you can spend it on your toy, on your bike, and that's when I do it. Okay? So you will get a question like this: which would you choose and why? There's no correct answer, but you have to stand there and explain why. All right, now, for credit card contacts, the average debt to income ratio of Canadians is at an all-time high at 150%. That means for every $1,000 of after-tax income, the Canadian families owe $1,500 in debt. Ouch! And the average debt, including mortgages, is about $100,000 for a Canadian. Ow. I mean, oh dear. Now, if a charge card must be paid off in full each month, how does the company that lends the money earn money back? Well, how do they make money off your money? Late fees? Interest? I'll charge you. There could be some sort of annual fee. And, one thing you may not realize, these credit cards will charge the merchants 2 to 5%. So if you go and spend $100 at the store doesn't get that $100. It gets $95 to $98, and the credit card company gets $2 to $5. The stores aren't happy with that, but it means there's much less cash being kept on hand, so they don't worry as much about being robbed. Yeah. Oh, and they will. So your information. As I may have mentioned, last year my daughter ended up had to buy a pair of boots, work boots for work, and I put it on my credit card, and for 2 weeks, work boot ads were following me around on YouTube, on Facebook, on Google, everywhere. Now, why do most credit card companies that use a revolving balance put limits on the amount of money they lend? Now, revolving balance, that is, you credit limit, I should be calling it that. You can only spend $2,000. So you can only borrow a certain amount. So you can only borrow so much money. they do that? Well, I always worry about theft. As I said, one time somebody tried to use my credit card to ship stuff to the Philippines, and somebody tried to use my bank card to buy groceries in San Francisco when I was living in Vancouver. And I ended up being altruistic, so that can't borrow too much. Big debt and credit. Yeah, so you worry. So they worry about theft, and they don't want you borrowing too much because then you might go bankrupt and they don't get their money back. I'm not going to use the term blood-sucking maggots because they provide credit. And that's real helpful sometimes. But you have to be very careful about it. Now, how do companies make money on prepaid credit cards? Well, some sort of fee. Well, they charge merchants. And usually there's some fee. Every year I buy a prepaid gift card for my mother. And it's usually $2 or $3 to get it activated. I pay that, so the $100 credit card costs me $103. What's that? Now, what's the point of offering rewards with a credit card? What's the point of using a credit card with a reward system? Well, it's a bribe. They're giving you back your money after you spend some money, and they'll give you a little bit back. You're paying for it. And still in trouble. Instead, buy something online with a credit card and watch the ads follow you around. Anyway, that's enough for me for the moment. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, good luck with the classwork.